So, with all of us talking about, Kang coming to the MCU in Ant-Man 3, I thought it'd be interesting to talk about another big Marvel bad that could be coming in the other side of Marvel, the Sony-Marvel stuff. And that big bad is Knull, the god of the symbiotes. Now, Knull hasn't been around for a long time. In fact, he's only been around a little over 2 years. Knull has had some major staying power in the Marvel Universe. He's obviously being treated as the next big villain in the Marvel Universe. And with Venom being the centerpiece now to the Sony-Marvel characters, it would make sense that the God of the Symbiotes would be your big prime Thanos-level antagonist on your end. If you're gonna copy Marvel, you're obviously gonna be using a character that you could be like, oh, we could totally do that with this character. We can make a Thanos-level threat with Knull. We have that already packaged and ready to sell with Knull. So how about we do that? So here, now you may be thinking, what about Carnage? Well, honestly, you could still have Carnage be in the movies and still do Knull. Let me explain. You can do your first big movie as like your big come together movie is Maximum Carnage, because obviously Let There Be Carnage is just going to build him up. I don't know if they'll kill him off, but like how I see it going, if I were to have any say in the Sony-Marvel stuff, is that you do a Maximum Carnage movie, you have Spider-Man in there, and you already have Venom and Morbius, who were in the comic already. You would just have to replace them with other Spider-Man characters. Well, you'd also have Black Cat, too, but you just have to replace, like Iron Fist and Deathlock and literally all the C-listers, excluding Iron Fist and excluding, of course, Iron Fist and Captain America. But, like, that would be just switch them around with, I don't know why we have Kraven. We're making a Kraven movie, but you would replace him with Kraven, and you would also have, I don't know, some other, like Spider-Woman. Yeah, Spider-Woman would probably be here with Jessica Drew, or Silk. They would be using those characters. So it wouldn't be that hard to drift away from, it wouldn't be that hard to make a Maximum Carnage movie, and that could be like your big quote-unquote Avengers movie for your movies over at Sony-Marvel. And you could also mix in a little bit of absolute carnage in there by saying, like, oh, Cletus was contacted by this otherworldly being to do all of this in the name of this god, and then you really reveal, boom, it's Knull. Which, honestly, I guarantee you that they are going to I would not put it past them to mention Knull in the next Venom movie. I guarantee you there will be at least a tease of Knull. Somewhere in that movie, they're gonna tease Knull. Like, maybe they'll say, like, oh, there was a voice in my head. Like, Cletus is gonna say, oh, like, there's this voice in my head saying I'm meant for something greater. Like, it'll be I don't know, like an after-credit scene, because of course it would be, and Cletus is back in his cell at Ravencroft, and he's just, like, clutching his head, and there's, like, drawings all over the wall, and you see Knull's symbol, you think it's Venom's symbol, and then you pull out and he said, God told me, I talked to God, and then you're like, oh, that's Knull. So, and it would, like, again, if you were to pick any, like, Sony doesn't really have a lot of picks for major bads. And again, if they want to copy Marvel, they're going to, I guarantee you, they're also going to pick a character that is going to essentially be like your next Thanos. Now you may be thinking, well, they're obviously trying to be part of the MCU, so how would they do this while they're using, like, Kang or whoever else? Well, that's the beauty about Marvel, is that a lot of big bads happen simultaneously. So you could make the argument that, oh, Knull's doing this, and they'll probably move Carnage, the Maximum, if they do a Maximum Carnage movie, to, like, LA or, like, the West Coast or something, and because they'll probably know, like, New York's a little too big. But what will basically happen is that they'll probably, like, tease Knull in their big together movie, and they're like, oh, Knull is coming to Earth, and you could still be like, oh, that's what's going on the West Coast, and the MCU stuff is going on the East Coast. see like there'd be some distance. So you could make the argument for two major big bads, or three, because there is still that rumor of Marvel doing, the MCU moving forward is going to have a giant cosmic villain and a Earth-based villain. It's safe to say we've probably already got the Earth-based villain with Kang, so that just leaves the cosmic villain. So that could be like Galactus or Annihilus, or I've heard a lot of rumors that it may be Michael Korvac. So those would be the three major ones. I'm kind of leaning towards Galactus or Annihilus, personally, but getting back to Knull. So you could, again, and again, I know what you're thinking, but Sony wouldn't. You don't think Sony would do that? You don't think Sony would try to continue to ape off of Marvel's success by trying to rip it off with something else? Yeah. So, and you could already saying, but Carnage is big enough to be a villain you could gather people together for. Yeah, for one movie, you make him like Loki, where he got everyone together, and they fight him, and then you reveal, oh, Carnage was just the beginning, because now Knull is coming to Earth. So, absolutely. There you go. Because Venom only has an X amount of villains. Also, keep that in mind, is that Venom really only has an X amount of villains. So, you've got the Jury, you got Jack-O-Lantern. Well, actually, no, you could use Jack-O-Lantern. Yeah. You could use Jack-O-Lantern. He's technically a Spider-Man character, and they own the movie rights, so... And he's a Venom... And Jack-O-Lantern's been a mainstay Venom villain, so... Go ahead. Use Jack-O-Lantern. In fact, I would prefer to use Jack-O-Lantern in the Venom movie, because I don't want it to be symbiotes all around. So, how about a Venom movie with Jack-O-Lantern, and maybe the Jury as villains, just throwing that out there. But make Knull like the big bad, because I know it would. As for who could play Knull, I don't know. Maybe what's his name? Who played Tywin Lannister in Game of Thrones? You see him everywhere. Like, he would be cool. Like, he's got the commanding voice for Knull. But anyway. So, there you go. Just something I was kind of spouting off and thinking about. So you guys tell me in the comments below. Would you guys be open to the idea of Knull being the big bad of the Sony-Marvel movies? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.